Welcome to the Rigatoni Capital podcast. I'm with my good friend and host, David Winchell. How you doing?
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. Um, I wanted to keep the screen up for a minute so we can watch the live ticker of NVIDIA's earnings after hours. Today is November 19th. NVIDIA had some pretty good earnings. Um, they had reported a beat on the top line. I did not look at earnings yet. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. I don't know if they beat EPS. I'm guessing they did, but they guide it higher too. So they had this says record revenue, marking a 22% increase quarter over quarter and 62% year over year.
Wow,
And this is a $4.5 trillion company.
it's
Um,
95. It hit
yeah,
five at one point.
it hit what?
It
Five.
hit
Yeah,
five
yeah.
trillion at one point.
Yeah, when times were good and probably Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs too. Um, so yeah, this is all I have right now. And
Well,
just
NVIDIA is it's funny, you pronounce it NVIDIA. You're
oh,
not
NVIDIA, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Yeah.
not in bad company because Trump and another reporter were both saying NVIDIA and it was cracking me up. I'm like, that's how everyone pronounces it. It's NVIDIA, which NVIDIA, I think, is Spanish for trust or something to that effect. But it's comical that even the president and them are saying NVIDIA.
Yeah, I'm in great company. All right, Bitcoin's at 90,000. I think I saw 88,000 today.
Yeah,
And we always talk about touching grass, going outside, kind of stepping away from looking at the price. My new thing is feeding the birds. So I've put
like that.
new bird food for the season in the feeder, and that just means the squirrels are going to eat it anyway. But that's my new thing, like feed the birds, go outside and feed the birds.
Yeah.
Um, VIX is at 23. Um,
Can you
let's
check
see.
gold?
What's that?
Can you check gold?
Yep. I saw gold is kind of in the green today. Do you see it from my screen?
Yep, 4,000,
84.
4,084. It's holding that 4,000.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
S&P's at 6642. Um, the Nasdaq's at 22,564. Silver's at 46.45. Where's the 10 year? 10 years at 4.13. And, some crazy stuff is going on in Japan, I see. Here's the Japan, or the yen versus the dollar, kind of ripping pretty hard. This isn't a 10-year chart, so this is this year's chart.
Hmm.
And I see their yields are really going higher after Japan was saying that I think they were going to do some stimulus over there, right? Um, so yeah, lots of jittery panic. I think that's what I'm seeing. Of course, the Fed. Let's see. This is Kalshi Fed decision in December. Fed maintains rate now at 68%. I think it was at like 55% the last time I checked, and that's because of the Fed notes that came out today. Uh, kind of claiming that they're probably not going to cut.
Hmm.
That's how you see that the blue and the green line kind of separate it right here, real
Yeah.
fast. So that was after today's notes that probably came out at 2 p.m.
Wow.
Um, and Citadel and others, not just Citadel, but Citadel had pretty much was betting on the Fed holding before it was cool. This came out on November 13th. It's now November 19th. They were one of the first ones to say, hey, we think the Fed's not going to cut. They're going to hold.
Hmm.
And a lot of it just has to do with them claiming they don't have the data, which is so stupid and antiquated. It's like everybody has data. The year's 2025. Come on. But they have to wait for the official data to come out on jobs and everything.
It's
And
smoke and mirrors. They're
yep,
uh, they're the best at it of talking vague and doing verbal gymnastics to calm the markets. That's their whole job.
yeah, their whole job is the bullshit,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, Fed speak. Just go back to Greenspan. I read Greenspan and Bernanke's both of their books back when I still was a believer in the system and not really a believer in the system. I always knew it was scammy and gold was where it was at, but I still had to beat inflation, so I played the game. This is, before Bitcoin was even I mean, it was yeah, way back then. So then Bitcoin hit, and I still had no clue about Bitcoin or anything, and I was playing the game lock, stock, and barrel. I knew it was rigged, but what else can you do? You gotta beat inflation. You gotta make your money work for you and not work for money, because that's how you get wealthy. You'll never get wealthy trading your time for money.
Now, were these books autobiographies or were they
Uh,
about third person writer?
it was Greenspan's was geez, I don't remember what it was called or what it was. They were really bad, boring books. And I slogged through them and read. I think they were written. Greenspan's was written by him, and then Bernanke his was written by himself too. And they were. I think Bernanke was the chairman at the time. Greenspan had already left his post, and then not too long after, Janet Yellen took the helm.
Well, you know what I say, the more boring, the better for a book. That's just my opinion.
No, not these, because I mean, yeah, I got through them somehow, some way, I guess, because I was still, but it's all gobbledygook. Looking back, it was quite a waste of time. I wish I would have been reading more about the history of money and, because I remember when Ron Paul asked if Bernanke, he asked him in front of Congress, I think, do you think gold is money? And there's something to that effect. And he was like, no, I think it's an asset, but and I was like, gold is that's where the money is, that's what the dollar represents. It doesn't make any sense. How could you? So it's just these guys, but then you see these interviews with Greenspan, and his whole thing was confusion and just totally getting to the point where no one understood what the hell he said. He even says in that 60-minute interview, if I could leave you like, what the hell did he just say? That was success. So it's telling, they say it in plain sight, but half the world, 90% of the world even, is not paying attention to this stuff.
Yeah. No, of course not.
We're the anomalies.
Yeah. And what's funny is that I always say Bitcoin's like a hedge against the central banks and the bullshitty word salad.
Yeah.
And, really it's actually made me more interested in the Fed, and central banks. It's got me into like a macro mindset now because I like to see everybody fumbling and making mistakes and on the verge of breaking the system that they have. So it's not that I'm cheering for disaster, but I'm interested in how they think they can maneuver and kind of BS their way out of this problem.
Just think of this. Elon Musk's the richest man in the world, supposedly. But who are the people that own the private bank we call the Federal Reserve? I know they say it's a subsidiary in the bank, the subsidiaries own portions of it and it's all banking. but there has to be people at the end of the, if you go up like when the feds are putting together a criminal chart of like the Gambino family or whatever, and you build that hierarchy chart, there has to be people at the end. Like a company is not an entity unless you're in the legalese BS. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the law thinks of it as an entity, but let's face it, it's a board of directors, and the board of directors are the owners. Like, however many shares you have, that's you are the owner. So whether it's the Rothschilds, Warburgs, Merrimans, whoever these people are that don't want you to know who they are, these are the owner of these are the owners of the money system, the system that Elon rides his railroad train on, or his I'm sorry, his train on the railroads. And without that system, he's not the richest man in the world. Obviously, Satoshi Nakamoto would be at that point because,
Yeah.
uh, well, would be if the world switched over to Bitcoin tomorrow. But
So
so
who's the board of directors? The Davos crowd?
I mean, they don't want you to know. I've never got a definitive answer. If you read the book by Eustace Mullins, The Secrets of the Federal Reserve, it gives you a little window, but there's no definitive answer of who owns what of these, banks that own the bank, which is a private entity, private. But let's face it, it wouldn't be an entity in itself without the US government protecting it.
Gotcha.
So there's just layers and layers of this onion that when you I got into a discussion with Owen Benjamin on a not a discussion but like a couple of quips and on Twitter, or I said something and he replied back, but he's like this kind of somewhat famous comedian that got canceled. Super smart and understands a lot of what's going on in this crazy world conspiracy and all that stuff, but he does his own thing. He lives off on a big parcel of land and just stays to himself. But he said something about Bitcoin being a scam, and I'm just thinking he clearly doesn't understand because the dollar is the scam. I mean, if you look into the history, yeah, pull
This
up his
guy?
Twitter account. Yeah, he's comical, but
Yeah.
he's ruthless. Like if you I saw him on a show, and the only reason I commented on it is because he mentioned Bitcoin, and another guy
Hmm.
I follow who wrote the book Modern Chains, Neil Flesher, who's a former military guy. He's always in the spaces with me, and it's a good dude. And he just kind of figured out Bitcoin within a year or two ago, but he's full bore, like ready to fight. Not like fist fight, but he said something back to Owen Benjamin, so it came across my timeline, and so I was like, well, you you get Bitcoin when you do the work of comprehending Bitcoin. You know, I don't use that old version. You get Bitcoin when you deserve Bitcoin, but
Hmm.
you get Bitcoin when you put enough time and effort in to comprehend Bitcoin. And he's like, Bitcoin's a scam. You would never have to do that much work to understand a currency if it's going to be a viable currency. Well, clearly everyone's using the US dollar, which is you never understand it even if you do, hundreds and hundreds or even 1,000 hours some people can do trying to figure out the US dollar and everything in it involved with it, and you still don't understand it. But it just makes no sense. Like you think Bitcoin's a scam because you are ignorant of all of its you know, beginnings and how it works. But it's clearly already a currency. It's not the most used currency. It's very much not even probably 1% of the world is using it as a currency, but it is on the rise. There's no doubt about that. and it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger as more people figure it out.
What I think is that some people that don't really have a big exposure to owning Bitcoin, they look at X and they see Peter Schiff like it's every half an hour, like really pouncing and pouncing and pouncing and pouncing, and they find this entertaining, so they like to repeat what he's doing because they think it's funny
Mm.
and they think it's fun. That's a really immature way of thinking of this, but I actually think it's that simple. It's just like a game for these people. They just want to debate the debate. And it's the same debate. It's just a number on a screen and it has no physical use case. Therefore, it's not like gold and it's not money. It's the same three things they say.
Yeah, they use tropes that other people use. But the Twitter, you have to realize that this is a controlled social media platform, and you know who is involved in the controlling of it. It's Linda Yaccarino was, I don't know if she still is, the sitting security person or CEO maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, she's from the IMF or the World Bank. These people that are in there controlling these algorithms and how X works are clearly not going to be for Bitcoin. I mean, they
Hmm.
can't control people talking about Bitcoin, but they're going to guide the narrative. They're not going to give you
You mean they're
this,
shadow banning people?
oh, there's no doubt censorship,
Oh.
shadow banning. There's so many things going on behind the scenes that they'll never tell you. You'll never know for the rest of our lives because they're not going the I mean, think about it. Dorsey, that was his baby. He was the face of Twitter. It was his like, you know, entrepreneurial like thing. He created the town square. Everything was organically made by people because it was kind of an open source social media. You could kind of control what you saw by looking at a hashtag of something. Not anymore. You go in the search, it's barely even hashtags. It's the news they want you to see. I was looking for
Yeah.
Epstein stuff today. I couldn't find it. I'm like, what? How could it not be on there? That's got to be one of the biggest, they just had a vote in Congress yesterday about it. I mean, I eventually found it, but
Hmm.
it's on top of mind. These would be the trending things that would be trending if they weren't controlled would be completely different. And that's just the tip of the iceberg because you go in any other direction, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're all compromised. I
Sure.
mean, TikTok, look who scooped that up. Ellison, CIA.
I don't think anybody scooped it up yet,
Yeah,
but
that's who the
I
deal's
thought he
got.
wants to scoop it up.
No, the deal's going through with,
The deal's done,
it already went through or it's going through. It's Ellison's baby now. They got rid
so it
of the
has nothing to do with Oracle then.
Oracle is Ellison.
I know, but Oracle's not going to own TikTok, are
No,
they?
no,
Okay.
it's his
He's
son,
just,
David
oh,
Ellison.
okay. Yeah, got you.
But that's how Oracle became Oracle. That's a
Sure.
government sponsored CIA. He didn't make billions and billions of dollars because he was a great entrepreneur. He was in bed with the government. Elon,
Really?
in bed
Is there
with
a
the
book on this?
there's probably several. I know
On
he's
Larry or
Larry Ellison cut his teeth with the CIA
in the 1970s?
before I was born. He's old. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they use the Oracle software.
Yeah. Yeah. He was
Ah,
on the I
yeah.
mean, I think he got out of it, but everyone knows that once you're in the CIA, you're never out.
Yeah.
You're always
Well, I guess that's what's I'm sure Palantir is the same way, right?
sure they're in cahoots big time.
Yeah. So what are you doing with stocks? I think you said that sometimes you manage like your family's accounts. Are you buying, selling, panic
Nothing.
selling?
I was waiting for an uptick so I could sell some covered calls, but XYZ and MSTR just got murdered today. So I know XYZ block is up in after hours. I think there's some kind of news going on. When you were away a second before we started the call, I saw that there's an
Adjusted earnings.
investment. Is it earnings?
It
I thought it was
says
an investor meeting.
Block sees 30% adjusted earnings growth through 2028, 1 hour ago.
Maybe. So it must have been an investor meeting or earnings call, but I heard Jack Dorsey talking on it. So they must have said some words that made people like the stock again because now it's up in after hours. So we'll see if there's follow through tomorrow. I'll sell some covered calls, but
Okay.
Lily, I'm hanging tight with Lily. Got a little Costco, and the speculative ones are it's XYZ MSTR, which is the block and or not MicroStrategy, but strategy now. Both dogs. But when the faucets get turned back on, they'll go. And I'm thinking XYZ is going to be pretty sexy when the Bitcoin, when a quarter of Bitcoin transactions are on the books, so people can start to see
Hmm.
how this works.
Yeah. Um, I think that strategy is the only speculative stock I pretty much own anymore. Well, that's all relative, right?
Yeah.
All stocks are pretty much
Yeah.
speculative at this point. But strategy is like the only company I own that, isn't like they make a small revenue, but it doesn't count. Um, so
Zillow,
there,
another one. Small
which one?
Zillow. That's
Oh
just a
yeah,
speculative one that is in the portfolio. More so because it never got sold. Not that I'm promoting it. And then
sure.
I've been totally nibbling. We're talking like maybe $200 or $400 worth of Clean Spark. I'm starting to take on uh,
Oh
nibbling.
yeah, the energy one,
Yeah, the
the data
mining
processing
AI and
services. Oh,
it's they went from Bitcoin mining to now they're going um AI also providing
yep.
energy with the Bitcoin miners and
Pretty
the
much all of them are. I think Riot,
IREN is another one
Iron, yeah.
I saw
Um,
with that, but
yeah, any Bitcoin miner can do. You were saying any Bitcoin miner can kind of still mine Bitcoin, but also strike deals with AI companies for data center energy. Is that correct?
yeah, I, I mean that it just seems to be a smart move, with AI being the rage. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't? And it dovetails nicely because you can always shut off the Bitcoin miners and
yeah,
that has to kind of always run. So
yeah.
you just let the Bitcoin miners go when you need the energy and then turn it back on when you don't need it.
Sure. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I also own a very small amount of Palantir. So yeah, I have some spec names, but I pretty much, really want to center my portfolio just around the QQQ and Bitcoin, kind of like my two big heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
think it's smart to like look at the QQQs for the next 4 years and measure them against Bitcoin because these next 4 years, or we'll call it an epoch, that's what Bitcoin is measured in. I think the investing world is going to start it'd be smart to start looking at things in 4-year epochs because if you're going to be a
Hmm.
long-term investor, you still have to do your homework. You can't just buy and sit on your hands like a lot of people like to do. I think you really have to have your head on a swivel, not like in the day to day, but you got to check in on a 3 month to every year basis,
Yeah, definitely. Um, Let me see
especially if
if I
you're in
can.
your 20s. I mean, this is
I'm
going
tr-
to get crazy in the next 20 years. You're going to
Yeah.
be 40s before you know it, and you know you can really be leaving a lot of money on the table if the currencies are switching over and we have a any type of you know Weimar type evolution.
Hmm.
Miss the boat, you're going to be hit.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see what I just did here or not.
Got there. Yeah, the cues. Oh, wow.
I'm trying to price the Qs in the Bitcoin, the S&P in Bitcoin, and gold in Bitcoin. So if I do a
Nice.
1 year chart, it show. Okay, so let me do a 1 year chart. Let me do to 2024. So I think I'm doing this properly. It would show QQQ is down 31% versus Bitcoin,
Hmm.
priced in Bitcoin, you know.
Okay.
The S&P is down 31% priced in Bitcoin. And
This is a 1 year chart, right?
This is 2024 through present. So it's like a year, it's like 2 years.
Almost 2 years. All
Yeah,
right.
because if we do 1 year, then it looks like, because Bitcoin's flat. So,
See if you can do four
gold's
years.
outperforming Bitcoin by like a lot.
Yeah.
What's that?
See if you can do a 4 year then.
Well, even if I do a 5 year, then you get 66%. Nasdaq's down 66%. Um,
Yeah.
Bitcoin just beats everything in 5 years by a lot.
So
Um,
the thing will, which will be interesting, is 5 years from now, for that to happen, I mean, Bitcoin will have to be 500,000 to a million.
uh,
Otherwise, because these stocks, real estate, and all of these true assets are going to go up in value because just by default they're devaluing your dollar. That's why real assets make money or go up. Plus, these businesses are taking your money and they're offering a service or building a product that allows them to sell it for more and make you money off your money. So that's the whole point of stocks, you know.
sure. This is since 2015. Um, so this is the way to properly do it. This should be S&P measured in gold. The S&P is down 8.2% in 10 years. S&P measured in Bitcoin is down 98.89%. And the S&P measured in US dollars is up 219%.
Hmm.
But like I don't rub this in anybody's face, like any bears, because like, Bitcoin started at zero.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
Even if
kind
it
of
started at say it started at $100, it's still astronomical, and that's that was so early. I didn't get into it.
yeah, but at least I started the chart in 2015 and I did the math. In 2015, where that chart started, it was actually a $3.5 billion asset.
Wow.
So today it's a $2 trillion asset, Bitcoin.
Actually, I think it's lower now just because it's at
Oh
like
yeah, it's like 1.8 or something now, of course.
90K. But yeah, the I mean, you got a company out there. When you start to look at it as a railroad system, a system of money, you know, to measure, it's really it really peels back. Like these are lenses. We're looking at a $2 trillion market cap, which is going to eat the whole world as far as, you know, how many dollars are there in the world? Nobody even knows.
Yeah.
You couldn't even put a, I'm sure somebody can find an estimate, but then you start to peel back the layer of, well, how many currencies are there? Like 130 something, 136?
You mean government currencies?
Yeah, or
Obviously, that's what
centralized.
a currency is.
Yeah, that's basically what the government wants you to believe. That's what a currency is. Gold is a
Yeah,
currency according to reality, and
sure.
silver's a currency, and
And
the value
cigarettes are
of
a currency
law.
in jail.
Exactly, stamps are a currency. So it's just what your brain is capable of thinking in general. But the dollar's in my mind getting stronger. So if you're holding dollars, you're doing good right now. But things change quick. You just
Yeah,
never know where the
exactly.
dollar's going to be in a 4 year span. I'd look
Yeah.
at it as cheap sats. Your Bitcoin's on sale. Your gold, not so much, but gold's going to continue to go higher if you believe that the dollar's still perpetually falling, which is kind
Yeah.
of being exposed in real time. That's why the Fed would have the faucets on right now if it could.
Well, yeah. Why haven't they yet? Because they just ended. They haven't even ended QT until December 1st. So you would think that they'll start QE, but it's not a sure deal. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't know 100% how that will transact, but I guess that is the next step naturally. Like you end QT, you have to kind of start QE, right?
Let's just dive into that. What's
Yeah.
QT? Quantitative tightening.
Yeah.
What's QE? Quantitative easing. Why
Yep.
do we have to say these words? What does that even mean, quantitative tightening?
Yeah.
What does it even mean, quantitative easing? Why don't you just say what that
Well,
means?
make if
You know?
somebody asked me on the street that was interested in Bitcoin, I would say, "Oh, that means that they're going to just buy, treasuries, right?" But are they printing money to buy treasuries? I think that's what we all know of QE as, they're just printing money out of thin air to keep rates down. So
Mm,
I'm guessing that's what Bitcoin is waiting for, and I think that's kind of why it's getting a little like frustrated.
Well, even
Um,
think about what you just said. They're printing money to buy it. Well, are they really printing money? No, they're tapping a computer button.
yeah, exactly.
Only
They're not
3%
physically
of the
printing money.
exactly. So they don't even have to print the money anymore. And here we are with a digital asset like Bitcoin. You can't make more of it. First of all, it's not printed, it's just data being moved around. But when you start to figure this thing out, there's only 21 million Bitcoins. What does that even mean? Oh, it means they can't make more of it. And then when you start to like look into it, like there's a protocol to this algorithmic blockchain, everything you don't know about money and computers wrapped into this. It's nuts, like
Yeah.
printing money is not even printing money anymore. We've come like 3% of the money of US dollars is in cash. That's it. 97% of all the money out there is on your
It's-
computer screen. It's an SQL database.
Yeah,
Simple query language.
sure. Yeah.
Pretty disturbing.
So what else are you looking at or reading now?
I've been busy with my nephew and that basic tragedy. So I'm kind of just walking the dog and moving,
Yeah,
going back home to visit my family because of that.
you're
Really,
going to Chicago.
yeah, back towards it's Northwest Indiana, but yeah, it's I'm gonna be back there for the wake and funeral. I've just been listening to podcasts, when I get a chance. I listen to a show called Bitcoin and it's David Bennett. He just does this. It's like news reporting on everything Bitcoin,
Oh
and
yeah, you told me this one.
yeah, it's my daily like indulgence, walking the dog, doing the dishes,
But he
whatever.
only does it like weekly.
No, he does it once a day, like Monday through Friday. And that's you're thinking of David Fisher's or not David Fisher, something Fisher, This Week in Bitcoin. That's one of my favorite weekly shows. But
Yeah,
that's
I like that show. Yeah. Oh,
really
Bitcoin End. You never told me about this.
oh, he's great. Yeah, he's great. He's a
Okay.
these guys are both maxis, and I don't like the term maxi because A, it was invented to as a disparaging or pejorative comment about people that only, believe Bitcoin is going to survive. So it's kind of like pigeonholing people into this, you know, category. They only like Bitcoin. Well, no, it's just everything else is very scammy. And like the dollar, everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. So why would I tell anyone to buy anything other than Bitcoin? And
Sure.
I like to I'd rather keep my integrity intact. Unless I figure out something better than Bitcoin, I'm always going to stick with just Bitcoin, but I don't label myself as a maxi.
Sure. Yeah, I'm looking for a good daily. Do they kind of just go over daily news?
It's just him. He's great. Yeah, just check it out. It's like an hour long show. Sometimes he goes short, like 45 minutes, but it's just him taking everything that's newsworthy about Bitcoin, and sometimes he'll sprinkle in some other stuff. That's what the and is. But
Okay.
yeah, he does a good job. He's been at it for ages. He's on episode 1214.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
I'm kind of looking for a new daily news type of Bitcoin podcast. And the guys at Simply Bitcoin, they're okay. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but just need
You
something
still hear
different.
them here and there on spaces and stuff. I do go on spaces every day with the Bitcoin veterans, and they
Every day,
every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Uh,
East
7
Coast time?
a.m. my time, so it's 10 a.m. your time.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know you do that
they're
every day.
yeah, they're they're a movement, man. They're a force to be reckoned with. They're all military people, but they invite civilians too. That's why I'm up there. I go up on stage and talk with them, and it's just a good place, just like this, just to talk with fellow Bitcoiners and chop it up because it's a lonely world out there. Nobody's when you just talk to the normies. So it's nice to get around like people people that get it, and they won't allow trash coiners. So I really like that they're
Just Bitcoin, yeah, of course.
yeah, they're moral and ethical and
That's what Rigatoni Capital is about. We're only Bitcoin here and the Nasdaq and stocks, but we don't do any other crypto.
nice. Well, you're ahead of most people because first you get like I used to, I traded when
Yeah,
I
I
was
owned like Ethereum for a while.
yeah, I owned Ethereum. I was
Yeah.
trading it, but then I start when you start really researching it, it's like, yeah, why would I even mess? I'm
Yeah.
not in it to gamble. Once you get Bitcoin, you're just it's more of a DCA, your daily cost average or dollar cost average into it, and you
Yeah.
pick it. There's
Yeah,
no
but if Ethereum, Solana, they say it's like the gas to the utility to tokenization but like why would you want to save your money in that anyway? Like if Ethereum was like a business, maybe I would be more interested, but I'm not interested in it as a savings vehicle, like Bitcoin's like a money,
right. I think it
uh,
comes to the unit bias. People love these scam coins because they can get, how many Doge can you get? 16 cents? You can buy a lot of Dogecoin.
yeah, they're the same people
Does it?
that think that Netflix got split. They split 10-1 and they think that's more
Well,
attractive. Like they don't.
You like buying, or people that like to buy the sub $10 stocks because they want to buy.
Yeah.
Now I could see if you want to get 100 shares so you could sell covered calls as it rises, but if it's
Yeah, for
under,
options, it's easier to buy contracts if or
yeah,
it's cheaper to buy contracts, sure.
yeah, but in the end, you're,
It's the only reason these companies split their stock anyway.
yeah.
Is for the derivative market, I'm guessing.
Well, and they get the retail in. Retail likes
They
to,
get retail in and maybe something in the maybe it has something to do with the Dow Jones. No, because that's price weighted. So yeah, maybe they're not as oh, maybe they would be more of a for large companies, this isn't really relative, but like a I think like some large companies split just because they wanted to get into the Dow maybe or something. The Dow would take them. They're not going to take $1,000 stock, right?
yeah. No, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's cool. I gotta start I gotta finish the book that I bought. Um the Satoshi letters book.
Right on.
So as soon as I do that, I will report back and let you know how it went.
I think I'm gonna get. You might want to pick up a sovereign individual when you get a chance. That was fantastic. I think I want to buy that book again because I gave it to my brother. But I also want to pick up the fourth turning. I keep hearing this book about this book, and I think we're in the fourth turning according to what it means. But I want to read the book.
The
It,
fourth turning, is this a new one?
yeah, I haven't read it yet, so I'm thinking of getting it. That's it, I think. Yeah, it's basically strong men make good times make
Yes, the cycle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
weak men make bad times make strong men, and then you're right back in it.
Lots of books from 1997. This book is from 1997. Did you know that?
Yeah,
And I
I
think The Sovereign Individual is from the 90s too.
yeah, I think it's 97 or 99. The Sovereign Individual was fantastic, and it reminds me of it's a long read and it goes really way back deep into the weeds, but it predicted Bitcoin, it predicted COVID. It's in an esoteric way, but it reminds me of the Breedlove Sailor series, like but in book form. It was
What's the, well, I don't know any of these books. What's the Breed Love series?
no, the
What,
Breedlove Sailor series was the podcast with like 8 episodes or I don't know, a bunch of episodes. You've heard that. You told George about it, I think.
doesn't ring a bell. What is it
Not a
called?
book, not a book. The podcast Sailor and Breedlove did. Michael Saylor and Robert Breedlove. You don't
No.
know?
I mean, I could have, but I maybe I don't know the host's name.
The host is Robert Breedlove. What is money?
What is money?
hmm It's
Sounds,
it's what made him. He turned him into a. I mean, all he does is podcast now. He makes all his money doing the.
yeah, I probably don't know who Breed Love is, but yeah, I probably listened to it. Sailor was on it, and I sent it to George, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was like. I mean, but the sovereign individual was the
a
fantastic.
great classic, huh?
Yeah, people talk about it in the Bitcoin circles all the time.
This was my favorite Sailor podcast on the Ice Dollar. I mean, on the Ice Coffee podcast with those two guys.
No, I think I think maybe that's
I thought that
maybe
was a good one.
the Sailor series with Breedlove.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should check that out. That
I
that
will.
that'll take you a while to get through, but he really goes. They go hard like for hours and hours. I listened to
Yeah,
it driving down that
yeah.
8 hour drive.
If Sailor's on was on a podcast that was for hours and hours, I probably listened to it already. Like I listened to the Lex Friedman one. I listened to all of his podcasts.
Yeah, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard of Booth, Jeff Booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rise Tomorrow. That's a great book. I read that one.
No, I haven't read
I
that.
listened to it in audio form, but I either read it or listened to it. That really made the head. realize how nonsensical the deflation inflation argument, like if we didn't have, we would have a deflationary spiral and it would be bad. It makes no sense. Like, why wouldn't we want things to get cheaper as a whole?
You know this podcast, On Ramp Bitcoin Media. Mel Madison was on it.
No, I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, this one's really good. He's from Chicago.
Hmm.
This is the one I recommend for
Global
for you this week.
Mel Madison. Okay.
I mean, you have Spotify, right?
I do. That's how I
Yeah.
listen to Mike and George. And
Yeah,
you
yeah, it's the latest one on it's called On Ramp Bitcoin Media.
on ramp. Let me pull it up, or else I'll forget.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Media. I'll put it in
Yeah,
the.
I messaged Mel today because my um post was kind of like about him. I was like, look, I don't like tagging people when I talk about them because what if they didn't appreciate what I said or maybe something's wrong. So I send it to them afterwards and say, hey, like I didn't tag you, but you might enjoy this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I've heard Mel Madison speak before. I just kind of like can't keep all these authors straight, and these finance guys straight. So, but my post last night was about Mel Madison's podcast he did with these guys. So
Hmm.
it was good. I recommend the podcast.
Download the audio. I want
It's
to download the video, so I'm just gonna add it as I'm not gonna download it. I'll just add it to my library. But yeah, that I'll check it out. And
yeah, definitely.
right after I listen to the investing or gambling show, like I always do, a little late in the week though. I like to listen to it like midweek.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, no, I'm sure I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna say Bitcoin's not a good form of money, and or the AI is not that good of a technology. To be honest with you, I kind of like understand that point of view. I'm a little disappointed with AI as a tech as well, but I also wouldn't bet against it. I think it's a very powerful technology. I just see the frustration. I think
Yeah,
we moved way too fast in asset prices.
here's
Um,
the AI. Think of do you remember when the cable wires were laid on the ocean floor and they overspent?
yes.
Yeah, that's how I think of AI. They just went, they're going to spend all this money and it's going to be like creative destruction. It's going to it's going to get better though. You know, it's going to get better and better and better. They're pouring obscene amounts of money into this technology. There's no way for it not to get better.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they could find some kind of like really important solution to a problem we have like cancer,
Yeah,
like if they can make cancer like a chronic disease. I think that's what I think that's why the government and everybody's very interested in doing this, because
yeah,
you have all this data and it can kind of just perform magic.
yeah.
So, but how many chips do you need to do that and make a super intelligence? I don't even know if that's possible. You can throw as many chips, GPUs at it as you want, but that will create an actual AI like that we don't know.
Well, you
So,
got the whole thing is artificial intelligence. So it's only going to be as smart as its creators. And there's no sentient being inside this machine. So you have to always, preface it with it's going to be smart in a way that we're not smart. We have supercomputers in everybody's brain is, genius is as common as dirt, as John Taylor Gatto likes to say.
mhm.
But what happens is we get these narrow minds as we go through school, we go through college, we go through life. And it's a perfect example when you look at George and Mike. They've lived the majority of their life And so they have, wisdom in the ages. But they also have those blinders on to certain things.
Hmm.
The youth, they don't have the wisdom. My children are going to make a lot of mistakes, within the next 10 years, but they're going to learn from those mistakes. And George and Mike and me, even, because I'm already getting up there, we're not going to make those mistakes. So we're not going to fail fast and learn from it. We're going to have our guard up. And that's just life, We're on the, if you look at a rainbow and, we're on the trajectory of, or I'm at the top, maybe heading down already. They're at the 3/4 mark, and you're probably a little bit before the halfway point.
That would be nice. I'd like to be before that.
Well, you think about it, if you lived to 90, what are you, 42? You're right there, like maybe
41, not 42 yet.
okay, well, you're crossing the bridge over to 42. You're on your
Yep.
42nd year.
I'm going through a midlife crisis.
There you go. Better go get a Mustang, and I don't mean the new
I
one.
got
No electric. Go get a
uh,
1985 Mustang and just start putting a bunch of stuff on it.
no, I don't. I'm really not into cars like that. Never was, but I would be more into like getting a paddleboard and fishing on the Delaware River. Like
There you
getting a
go.
Jeep Wrangler, throwing it on top,
That's
going
more.
to the beach. I prefer that crap.
I would get one of those Mercedes Benz like camp vans, or it's like one of
I'm
those camping all in one vehicles, where you could just
uh,
go anywhere.
oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to do that and travel the country.
Yeah,
That would be really cool. And then you just write Substack like you're a true traveling blogger.
that's what
Uh-huh.
it's a writer you might want to follow who wrote War of Art, um, Stephen Pressfield.
The War of Art. You mean like the
He
48
wrote
Laws of Power?
no,
No,
he
that's
wrote
Robert Greene.
a lot of good
Yeah,
books.
that's
Stephen
Robert
Press,
Greene.
fantastic. He wrote a lot of good books. Do the Work. They're like smaller reads, but he's a writer's guide. But he was broke, had a van, and was just putting in work.
What's it called?
Stephen Pressfield, Do the Work in War of Art. He's got all kinds of different books, but some
Stephen
of
Pressfield.
yeah. He has Writing Wednesdays. You can subscribe to his email newsletter.
Very good.
Yeah, you'll
Well,
like.
thanks for all the information. I gotta go because my basement's flooded.
Right on, man. Well, good luck.
Um,
It all
but
works.
yeah, so if I don't have a chance to post this tonight, I will post it tomorrow, of course.
All right.
So,
Well,
all right.
basement. I hope everything works out, and I'll.
Yeah, good luck. I'm sorry to hear about your loss, and I'll be thinking about you guys, and hit me up when you're back.
Okay, will do, man.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you.
Take care, man.
No, I don't know how to stop it.
I'll just leave.
Oh